Hello. It's that time. Good morning. And welcome to the show. Hope you're all having a wonderful morning today. I am tired. Oh my gosh. I forgot how hard these overnight extra shifts that I'm doing at the Ups place can be. And if I fall asleep in the middle of the show, that's why. Anyway, this story from yesterday, the update is just precious. I mean, it's precious. It's amazing. An amazing update to the story from yesterday. And then we'll do some other news and then we'll go home. But yes, it's just amazing. Guys, I gotta tell you, it's unbelievable. So anyway, are you guys ready? Let's get this show on the road. Johnny, would you please be so kind and play the intro? Johnny, wake up.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Wednesday hump day, the 29th of November, 2023, the second last day of November. And it's almost Rabbit Day for Rabbit wherever he is. Anyway, hope you're having a good morning. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this started by saying hi. Probably. Oh, now the connection looks better. So I was gonna say, I was having a little bit of connection problem, and I wasn't sure if this was gonna keep buffering or whatever. I don't know if it ever did, but looks like we'll be okay. So we'll hopefully that'll stay that way. Welcome to the show, though, everybody. And first, over in the chat in Rumble is Mr. Avocados Diabli. Gets the bell. Also, good morning to Mr. Mike Savage, Blarg, and Jimmy Das Hotel. Nice to have you all here bright and early. Also over, I didn't do Top Chat on YouTube. I should probably do Top Chat. There we go. First in chat on YouTube is also Avocados Diabli. But Zed the Snarky came in really close second there. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Ty Alexander. I can't play today. I got to keep going. The Gentleman Lich today. The Gentleman Lich. Yes, Ty Alexander's in the house. Good morning, also Tex AG 007 and Mr. Attack Alpaca, Tyler F. I said Zed the Snarky. Is that it? Is that all that's here right now? Holy moly. Well, no, it says 17. So if you haven't said hi yet, just plop your name over there in the chat. Just to say hi to everyone else who's here. And there's 10 people watching on Rumble. I'm one of them, though. So if you're watching on Rumble, just put a hi in the chat. That's all you got to do, just so I know you were here. But it says there's 10 here, so we'll just deal with that. All right. I really just want to kind of get into it today. What is this? Oh, okay. I really just want to kind of get into it today because there's some, like I said, there's an update to one of the stories that I saw this morning, and I laughed quite heartily. It just made me laugh. But I'm just going to do these in the orders I have them based on what's trending this morning in the news. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Nice to see you. I'm just going to go in the order that I have stuff, though. And the first thing in the trending topics today. Oh, I don't need that. Let's see. Oh, wait. Before I do that, let me thank some people. Let me at least thank some people. Damn, Marty, what are you doing? Jimmy Das Hotep, thank you for tweeting out the show. Tyler F, retweeting my tweet. And is that everybody? That's everybody so far. Best update ever, though. It's the best update ever. I mean, I guess it's in line with other events that have happened throughout the years that we watch these events happen, something gets said about whatever it is that happened, and then it turns out to be a big just egg on the face of the person who decided to promote this. And it is this stupid outlet. I'm getting to it, but it's not the first thing I have in line today. The first thing I have in line on the trending topics is, well, it's kind of weird. It's George Harrison. Now, it's not clearly George Harrison passed away a few years ago. And so you're like, well, why is George Harrison trending? Well, this is the anniversary of the passing of George Harrison. So he's trending today, November 29th, 2001. Can you believe? Now, this is freaking me out a little bit. Can you believe it's been 22 years since George Harrison passed away? It just seems like it was last. Good morning, Anna Lynn, by the way. It just seems like yesterday. It's really wild. So anyway, lots of people talking about George Harrison today. He was one of the Beatles, and he had a decent solo career too. Not as prolific as necessarily like Paul McCartney or John Lennon, but he still, he was one of the Beatles. How you gonna knock the Beatles? So anyway, is he getting canceled? No, he's not getting canceled. It seems like yesterday. Yes. Oh, I'm supposed to see so far away. Except he didn't sing that. Didn't Paul sing that? Anyway, so yeah, George Harrison trending. And I still, one of my favorite George Harrison things has nothing to do with George Harrison, but when they did the tribute to him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Prince came out and just did that just inspiring solo on his guitar when they did "When My Guitar Gently Weeps." One of my favorite things I've seen. When Tom Petty and the guy from ELO and Harrison's son, and there's just a whole kind of an all-star band, and Prince comes out and just does this just wailing solo, in honor of George Harrison. Good morning, Shrapnel. How you doing? So anyway, that's why George Harrison's trending. I'm going to go through the trending topics pretty quick. Now, but the one that is, I'm going to get to this one right now because this is that update. So yesterday we talked about the kid who was at the Kansas City Chiefs football game, right? And he had his face painted down the middle, halfway down the middle. On one side it was black, and the other side it was red. Okay, and he was, and he was wearing a headdress, and so Deadspin drops this article only showing the black side of his face, with the line. What is it? What was their line? It was, NHL needs to speak out against Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface and native headdress, saying that they're doubly racist against black people and Indians, right? Or Native Americans, excuse me. Well, there's a very, very special update today, and I'll just go with the real Kansas City Chiefs fans that Libs of TikTok saw this, I'm gonna agree with Libs of TikTok right here. You can't make this up. You cannot make this. This is Covington Catholic and Kyle Rittenhouse and all of these wrapped into one. Update: during Sunday's broadcast, Holden Armenta from California, a native that belongs to the Chumash tribe. His dad is on the Chumash tribe board up in Santa Ynez. Everyone's making a massive deal out of this, and only trying to show one side of his face to push the narrative. So the kid, they're Native Americans, and so the whole headdress thing, the whole face paint thing, and they only showed one side of his face. No reason to name him. Why did she name the kid? Well, because Deadspin did. And that wasn't it wasn't Libs of TikTok who named him. This is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they named the family, and because the dad spoke out about it, that's why. So anyway, Deadspin said Holden was wearing blackface. He wasn't. Deadspin said Holden was offending Native Americans. Holden is Native American. Deadspin said Holden was offending black people. Black players saw Holden and joined in with his tomahawk chop. I hope Holden is ready for, what's it say? I hope Holden is ready for a new headdress and a lot more face paint because this payout's going to be massive. So, he's already been, his name's already been made public because the dad spoke out on it. So that's the only reason we already know his name. So anyway, yeah, and you're probably going to get to know his name with the lawsuit pops off too. That's the other part. So there you go. That's fantastic. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that Deadspin's going to get the whole, not just egg, they're getting the whole dozen. They might even get the 18 pack on their faces for this one. Why is Deadspin trying to ruin this little kid's life? That's that. What else? Did anyone else say? Yeah, the media trying to cancel and accuse a child who's literally Native American of racism for wearing face paint at a Chiefs game. What's even crazier is the black football players spotted him at the game and cheered him on. Journalism is dead. So there you go. The young kid, let's see. Young kid being experiment Deadspin by this Karen J. Phillips is the so-called journalist. As a white kid in blackface, is now confirmed to be Native American. His family is on the board of the Chumash tribe, Chiefs Kingdom. So there you go. Everyone, there's a lot of people talking about this one. And this is dead. So the NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. Okay, yeah. So I know it's not Thursday, but FTG, Deadspin. Holy crap! Let me turn this here. If you haven't noticed, I've changed my setup a little bit too. Whatever. Okay, so I think that's hilarious. That is hilarious. That here's what I'm glad. Well, I almost wish it would have happened. I almost wished that like CNN or some of the other media picked up on it and started going after it. But they now, to their credit, they didn't because they saw that it was a kid. But I'm almost surprised they didn't. And had not more information come out today, you might have seen some of them pick up on it. But there are lots of people right about it. Even Krasenstein. Even one of the Krasensteins, brother. Here's our daily Krasenstein. Here's the daily Krasenstein. Brian Krasenstein. So it turns out that this kid who Deadspin accused of wearing blackface and native headdress, and who Deadspin asked the NFL to speak out against, was actually Native American. Two things here. The media has to stop jumping to conclusions. Number two, stop getting offended by everything, especially if you don't know the backstory and are not actually in the group you are claiming to be offended. Roy's grandfather, Raul Armada, is part of the Chumsa tribe and member of the San Ynez band of Chumash Indians. So yeah, we already know that part. So interesting. So someone commented on him saying, Deadspin about to find out what a defamation payout looks like, i.e. Salmon versus CNN style, to which Brian Krasenstein says, I don't believe this will meet the burden for defamation. Well, it kind of could, actually. Not because, one, the kid's certainly not a public figure. Two, it's an obvious smear. Three, it is not factual. Four, he's a minor. And the rules for defamation of minor are a little more lax, so to speak. So who knows? I bet you. Now, and the other part too is I don't think Deadspin has taken the article down. We'll go into that in a second. Good morning, Sully. What's up? Welcome over on Rumble. So Deadspin's also trending for the same reason. Now, I want to see, as I scroll through this, and I'll scroll slowly because, Oh my God, and he's 5 years old. Oh no. A 5-year-old Kansas City Chiefs fan went viral after the team's victory over the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday, as he was dressed in Native American gear and half his face painted in red and the other half painted black. Okay, I want to see if they take this down as I scroll. Oh, by the way, there was someone named Dan LeBatard or whatever. Apparently was defending Deadspin, smearing the kid because he said this is what he said. He said, you should never use the red and black combination on your face no matter what, because it's racist. Okay, now I'm going to read this again because as soon as I scroll here, you'll know why I'm reading this twice. He said you should never use the red and black combination on your face no matter what, because it's racist. Now, first of all, what would that be racist against? The black and red combination. I mean, and this, as I scroll up, this is Dan LeBatard, whatever. I should just say retard, but you're not supposed to say that word. Here's Dan Baytard from a year ago. Dressed up as Kane from the WWF. Now, I'm not maybe, as I look at his face, though, look at his face right here. See this? Now, it looks like it's the red and black combination, right? I'm confused, though. Maybe, just maybe he doesn't think it's racist because it's not quite red, or maybe the black is just a really dark shade of gray. I don't know, but he said that red and black combination on your face is automatically racist. What the heck's going on here? I want to sit there. I didn't really change my cameras. There we go. Okay, so that's funny. And then, of course, did Deadspin ever write an article about Jimmy Kimmel or whatever? But yeah, now I wish maybe they have taken the article down. I see this right here. Okay, wait, here's Karen Phillips. Here's Karen. Oh. Karen Phillips deleted their Twitter. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Or is that? Oh no, did this person delete their Twitter? This page doesn't exist. That post, the post has been deleted. They didn't finally delete the post. As of earlier this morning, it hadn't even been deleted. That was the post that they put the article out on. I'm curious though if let's see. Oh, I didn't know Karen Phillips is a black man. Senior writer at Deadspin. Oh my gosh. Hello, Maddie. How you doing? And also good morning, Jason. Who? No, they retweeted it again. Well, here I'm looking here. Let's look at Karen Phillips' Twitter page. Which, if I were him, I'd be protected by now. Or that's how it usually works. People protect their Twitter page. All right, so this is Karen Phillips, senior writer at Deadspin, Pulitzer nominee in 20 whatever. Oh my gosh, where? Okay, I'm scrolling down. In case you missed it yesterday, I wrote about Deion season's first. Okay, I don't care with that. Nope. Here it is. Now, Kevin Sabo. Oh. He's chirping at Kevin Sorbo, the guy who played Hercules. Hey, Karen Phillips, Deadspin, when you're done writing this kid a big fat check, could you make up something about me? I'll use the defamation suit to fund my next movie, to which Karen Phillips replied, as if anybody would want to watch it. Well, you never know. But it's interesting. Okay, let's see. Is it here anywhere? No. Now he's over retweeting Hillary Clinton, of course. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm scrolling down. Is the article still there or not? I don't know. Is what? Colorado? Oh. Well, he's just writing about sports now. So let's see. These are all. Anyway, so that's. I love the update. I'm curious. You would think by now or sometime during the day there'll be an apology. We kind of hope so. But who knows? Maybe Mr. Phillips is too prideful to actually do an apology. Let's see. I had a corresponding article of this that had something. Where is it? Oh, why is that like that? Sorry, guys. Okay, there. Fix that. Well, we'll come back to it later. All right, let's keep going because I want to get through everything today. Deadspin. Let's see what's next here. Oh, I by the way, all these links will be in the links today, and the one tab link that I drop in the chat at the end of the show and drop into the description of both YouTube and Rumble for this particular show. Hunter Biden's trending also. I'm pretty sure this has to do mostly with the fact that he will be testifying before a congressional committee, but not in public, as we figured out yesterday. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is funny. Hunter Biden disappointed to learn white powder all over White House is just fake snow. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's hurting for that. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard. Now there's a whole lot of opinions on the Hunter Biden hearing, and here's one from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The reason the GOP don't want a public meeting, okay, this is, again, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not the brightest bulb in the tree. This is the sentence she wrote. The reason the GOP don't want a public hearing on Hunter Biden is because oversight Dems have hoisted them by their own petards in every public hearing this year. They're scared of getting humiliated for not having an actual case again, so they need to hide. There's your answer. Now, and then this ACN says, Fox News host trying to convince their viewers that a closed-door deposition of Hunter Biden is better than a public hearing. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure if it's a deposition, then most depositions are done behind closed doors. Is it a public hearing or a deposition? I don't know. Let's see how the Fox News people are spinning this.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But I agree that I prefer hearings to be done behind closed doors because I think that they actually get to the heart of the matter.
They
get some truth, and they can ask questions without preening for the camera, without all the grandstanding.
That might be.
Is my preference.
That might be.
And for Abby Lowell, his attorney, to say, well, you all use that to misinform and to distort the facts. Well, you know what? You can do that too, Abby. After he comes out of his closed-door session, you feel free to knock yourself out, and you can distort too. I mean, it's a silly
Dan Goldman
argument.
will.
And Comer has said, fine, sit before us publicly, a public hearing. We'll do that later. We want the closed-door one first. And I think that's totally, totally appropriate. Hunter Biden would love nothing more than to sit, have cameras pointed at him, and try to generate the narrative that he wants to form. And I think it's proper and right that you're right. He gets to do another one, maybe on 60 Minutes or wherever he wants to go. Yeah, that would be interesting.
All right, so there you go.
I agree.
That's interesting, I guess. But anyway, let's see. Hunter Biden agreed to testify publicly, but House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer rejects the offer, insisting he testify behind closed doors, but can't testify publicly at a future unknown date. Okay. And then he says, how dare Hunter Biden try to interfere with their plans to selectively leak whatever. Let's see. Anyone else talking about this? I'll scroll through. Oh, Maria. Maria's talking about it. Let's hear Maria talk about this. You know how much I love Maria's voice. She has the greatest voice. I don't even know how to describe Maria's voice here.
Welcome back. Hunter Biden offering to publicly testify before the House Oversight Committee on December 13th. His attorney writing this: "We have seen you use closed-door sessions to manipulate, even distort the facts and misinform the public. We therefore propose opening the door." But Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says Hunter does not get to dictate the terms of a subpoena and must appear for that closed-door deposition before public testimony.
So it's a
Joining me right now is
deposition.
South
So
Carolina
it's
Congresswoman
not.
Nancy
You don't
Mace.
do
She's a member of the House
depositions
Oversight Committee.
publicly.
Congresswoman, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Let's see what Nancy Mace says.
We've been talking about the difference of
How
the
much time?
public
Oh,
hearing
I'm not going 8:40.
versus
No. We're not going to watch 8 minutes and 40 seconds of this. But what I will do, I will give this its own link if you want to watch this. If you want to watch this particular interview with Nancy Mace. So, and there we go. All right, let's move on. Also trending this morning. Come on, computer. Damn it. Okay, there we go. Orange Jesus. Orange Jesus is trending. Hi, Rockhopper. What's up? Orange Jesus is trending because apparently Liz Cheney has a book out, of course, because what else is she going to do? She's not in Congress anymore. Liz Cheney has a book out where she calls Donald Trump Orange Jesus, according to reports. So let's look at the Hill article on this. Cheney says in new book, GOP rep, that a GOP representative called Trump Orange Jesus. Now, do you think does that sound complimentary, or was that sounding, does that sound not detrimental? That doesn't sound like it's deferential at all. In her new book, former Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming reportedly recalls a scene in which a fellow House member called former President Trump Orange Jesus. In the book Oath and Honor, Cheney says that while in the GOP cloakroom in the Capitol on January 6, 2021, members were encouraged to sign onto electoral vote objection sheets. According to CNN, there was a sheet for each of the states that GOP members were pushing back against, per Cheney. Among them was Republican Congressman Mark Green of Tennessee. Cheney writes, according to CNN, which received an advance copy of the book to be set to be released on December 5th, as he moved down the line, signing his name onto the pieces of paper, Green said sheepishly to no one in particular, "The things we do for Orange Jesus." Does that sound deferential? Did they misspell Orange Julius? Yeah, maybe she meant Orange Julius. Maybe they meant Orange Julius. The Hill has reached out to Green for comment, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Liz Cheney's in the news because she has a book out. And so she is also trending along with Orange Jesus. Now here's another one. Just learned that the term Orange Jesus is a derogatory reference to Donald Trump. The disrespect just won't stop. Just makes me more determined in my support for this man. They demonize. I support him more now than in 2016. That's someone named Dave. Good morning to everyone who will be casting their vote for Orange Jesus in the 2024 election. I can't wait to bow down at his feet at the inauguration and give praise to all his greatness. What about you? Sorry, I had to. These Democrats are pathetic. Orange Jesus, really? Anyway, but that wasn't a Democrat. That was a Republican. That was Liz Cheney, who is also trending because she has a new book. Now, apparently CNN seems to think that this was a big scoop, that they got an advance copy of Liz Cheney's book, and Glenn Greenwald is laughing about that. Here it is. Now, here's what he's referencing. This little tweet here. New, Liz Cheney takes on McCarthy, Johnson, and the GOP in her new book, obtained by CNN. Wow, they obtained it. Like, did nobody else obtain it? Is it like an exclusive copy that CNN obtained? Here's what this guy says. Obtained by CNN, condemning her former colleagues and party leaders as enablers and collaborators of Trump. A lot of new behind-the-scenes details. Oh, great. She's doing a tell-all. I get it. Some notable details from Cheney's book. After McCarthy's surprise Mar-a-Lago visit, McCarthy told her Trump's not eating, so they asked me to come see him. What? You went to Mar-a-Lago because Trump's not eating? Yes, he's really depressed, McCarthy said. Oh, she's making up some stuff here. Interesting, Cheney also writes that McCarthy told her Trump acknowledged his loss 2 days after the election. He knows it's over, McCarthy said. According to Cheney, he needs to go through all these stages of grief. Cheney knows a scene from the morning of January 6th when her colleagues were signing state objection letters. Among them was Representative Mark Green, whom she writes said sheepishly to no one in particular, "The things we do for Orange Jesus." Now, so Glenn Greenwald is ridiculing this person for the scoop of obtaining Liz Cheney's book, as if she wasn't handing out copies to every news outlet she could hand them out to, because no one's going to buy that shit. Anyway, congrats on this unbelievable, groundbreaking scoop and the dangers and risks you had to face to obtain it. That's funny. And then he went on to ridicule this person even more. One, CNN is acting like they got a great scoop because Liz Cheney gave them her new anti-GOP book. Two, she chose CNN. This is CNN. She chose CNN because she knows it's dumb liberals who will buy this. Three, she pompously called her book Oath and Honor. Yes. And finally, she lost her last race by 36 points. So the people of Wyoming said, "Get the fuck out." So there you go. Here's one of her clips from the interview. Here's her interview with This is CNN.
And she writes, get ready,
Earth.
Cheney.
This is one of the scoops. This is a scoop, as if CNN obtained a copy of the book that nobody was supposed to have. Okay, here it is.
Lago? What the hell, Kevin? Kevin McCarthy. They're really worried. Trump's not eating, so they asked me to come see him. Cheney. What? You went to Mar-a-Lago because Trump's not eating? McCarthy. Yeah, he's really depressed.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I don't buy any of that. I don't buy it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that there's some embellishments and fantasies in the book by Liz Cheney, and but you know, and then of course, who was it? Hageman crushed Liz Cheney in the primary in Wyoming. All right, enough about Liz Cheney. Next on the plate is what's next here? Osprey. Oh, this is not good. This is a bad incident. Apparently, an American Osprey aircraft has crashed off the coast of Japan, killing one American soldier. Let's see. Here's the ABC News story. The U.S. military Osprey aircraft carrying 8 service members crashed off the Japanese coast about 3 p.m. Wednesday, officials said, which is today, but it's obviously it's in Japan, so they're ahead of us. The crash took place during a routine training mission, according to the U.S. Air Force, which added that the cause is currently unknown. At least one service member who had been on board was located, Japanese officials said, although there was no immediate confirmation on the person's condition. Okay, they didn't say. Okay, the crew's condition are unknown at this time, the U.S. Air Force added. Japanese officials had previously said 6 people were on board the Osprey. The Japan Coast Guard deployed search and rescue vessels in the area of Kagoshima Prefecture in southern Japan. The wreckage of the aircraft was spotted at about 4 p.m., about an hour after the crash had been reported, in the water southeast of the airport in Yakushima Island. The search continued into the night Wednesday with Coast Guard ships and helicopters active in the search area at about 7 p.m. local time. The Osprey, a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, or VTOL, is manufactured by Bell Boeing. I don't know why that is important. You know, it could have been. We don't know what the problem was. Oh, excuse me, I'm so tired. Okay, and then they were talking about an Osprey crash in Australia, killed 3 servicemen in June 2022. Okay, they've had some issues with this plane. There have been more than a few Osprey crashes. So anyway, you know, you'd hope that there were some people who made it through, but I don't know, an airplane crashing, I don't know. There's in water, probably not. Think good thoughts for their family and friends. Good morning, Kessler. Good morning, Simon Wolfwood. Nice to have you here. Next, Jack Smith is trending this morning. The prosecutor from the for all sorts of things. So Laura Logan tweeted something about this morning where she says, there we go. Hey, Jack Smith, on behalf of all free Americans, let me save you the trouble of getting my info from Twitter. Go fuck yourself. So anyway, that's with reference to this report by Colin Rugg. The Department of Justice demanded that Twitter hand over a list of users who engaged with Donald Trump's post in relation to Jack Smith's January 6th investigation. Oh my gosh. Who engaged with Donald Trump's post in relation. This means many of you have been targeted. Smith demanded Twitter provide data on all lists of Twitter users who have favorited or retweeted posts by Trump, as well as tweets that include the username associated with the account, i.e. blah, blah, blah. Jack Smith also demanded that Trump's drafted tweets as well as his DMs, and it says enemy of the people. Yeah, wow. Anyone who interacted with Trump, retweeted, retweeted, favorited, that could be hundreds of thousands of people. Trump was probably the most retweeted person on Twitter when he was still on Twitter. Are you kidding me? That is really unbelievable. Twitter's appeal. Oh, and then also, here's Twitter's appeal of Jack Smith's warrant approved by the equally wicked Beverly Howell Obama appointee was upheld on appeal by 2 Obama judges and 1 Biden judge. This is why I call DC the legal and judicial inescapable circle of hell for Trump and his supporters. So on a huge matter, both Jack Smith and Judge Howell are attempting to cover up as how both suggested Trump was a flight risk to justify the non-disclosure order on Twitter. They tried to cover their tracks in later filings. Redacted portion of the court doc appears to conceal those facts. I don't know what she's talking about there, but the Trump lawyers have filed a motion for discovery requesting documents that list any January 6th undercover agents, including Capitol Police and FBI agents. They're not going to get that from Judge Chutkin. They're not going to get that from Judge Chutkin. Also new, Judge Chutkin denies another defense motion in Jack Smith's J6 case against Trump. This will be the death by 1,000 cuts as she acts like Smith's rubber stamp. Chutkin denies Trump's motion to subpoena parties with knowledge of missing January 6th committee records. Yeah, so remember how the January 6th committee apparently has lost some of the records from the January 6th hearings that they had, that just, those hearings just recently, the congressional stuff, they lost a bunch of it. Like, oh no, we just lost some of it. So Trump's trying to subpoena that, information. And Chutkin denies Trump's motion to subpoena the parties with knowledge of the missing records. Not good. More options. Excuse me. More motions. Trump lawyers continue to fight Jack Smith and Chutkin's attempt to conceal info and proceedings from the American people. New filings ask to make public currently sealed scope of special counsel's office and redacted sensitive materials of discovery. So, obviously, Jack Smith is going to be tweeted a lot. There's a lot more about that, but those are the main ones that I saw. Moving on, Home Depot's trending. Okay, I think liberals and Democrats and media, I know, very redundant, maybe boycotting Home Depot in the near future. Why? Well, Home Depot billionaire says he'll continue funding the Trump campaign even if he's convicted according to Raw Story. So this is someone who really does not like Trump very much, but they posted the Raw Story article right here. Home Depot billionaire says he'll continue funding Trump campaign even if he's convicted. Hello, Nomad.
Stop. Hammer time.
Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus said he would continue to fund Donald Trump's campaign even if the former president is convicted of a crime. In a Tuesday interview with Reuters, Marcus said the 4 criminal cases against the Republican frontrunner were trumped up. I don't think he even intended that pun. The billionaire said that he had recently spoken to Trump. I never discussed his legal fees or his legal problems, he remarked, noting that Trump was very happy to have his support. So that's quick in the headline kind of story there. There's not a whole lot to it, but that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, let's see. Final trending topic is Seth Rich. Now, this is getting interesting. At least I'm looking at what people are talking about. Y'all remember Seth Rich? Seth Rich, that was like just before the 2016 election, right? When Seth Rich gets robbed and ended. And there's the laptop. There's another laptop story. Remember how they poo-pooed that laptop? Hello, Ravon Harris. Well, here's some breaking news. The FBI ordered to disclose information on Seth Rich's personal laptop, Seth Rich's work laptop, the DVD, and the tape drive within 14 days following this order by the federal judge in Texas. Huge shout out to Ty Clevenger, one of the most amazing attorneys, one of my amazing attorneys and friends. Anyway, so here it is. It's further ordered that government and Huddleston shall recommend to the court timeline for disclosure information on Seth Rich's personal laptop, Seth Rich's work laptop, the DVD, and the tape drive within 14 days following the issuance of this memorandum. So, this could get interesting. Hello, Jeff Overturf. What's up? So, it may, well, again, this is one of those, remember, you know how everyone was calling this a conspiracy theory, right? About Seth Rich and laptop, and that he was probably the one who disclosed the DNC emails that they said that the Democrats were saying, well, the Russians hacked their emails. And then there was like this thing, and everyone thought it might have been Seth Rich, and Seth Rich had some stuff on a laptop, and when he was Clinton sided. So anyway, killed in broad daylight, and his murder was never found. His name was Seth Rich. He was 27 years old when he was killed, and an employee of the DNC. He was ended by the DNC for stealing their emails and giving them to WikiLeaks. He exposed the Democrats for what they are. I'm not going to read that line, but yeah, they're here. I'll put it on the screen briefly, and you can pause that some other time if you want to put that. I can't say those words on YouTube, I don't think. Not in that combination, at least. Anyway, all right. Let's get into a little bit of news here. I got through that pretty quick today, didn't I? Am I missing anybody? If I said hi to everybody, I see Kessler. I said, God, oh no, man, Ravon Harris, Tyler F. Yeah, I think I've been doing okay. I'm doing okay here. Okay. And again, I apologize if I have these blank moments. I am super tired. I only got 3 hours sleep before I went to my, and then I went out to work at 10 o'clock. So I've been up since 10 o'clock last night on 3 hours of sleep, and then I still have a full day today. So I gotta get my brain working. I need more coffee. This is helping though. This is helping. I do have a cup of reparations here in the big. Oh, it's doing that thing. It's the invisible cup. Maybe it's too close. Oh, maybe the reflection off the green. That's why. So anyway, it's the Papa Bear cup from Breckenridge. All right, let's get into some news stories here. And I'm purposely not spending a lot of time on Israel today. even though there's a lot of news, and if we get, I'll do some headlines about it at the end, but I didn't even break out the articles today. But here's something wild. And I don't know why they're calling him a leader in this article from Breitbart, but here's the headline that should make plenty of heads spin faster than Deadspin. Steph Colonel, what's up, Steph? Oh, it was buffering? Was it me buffering, or is that all good? Oh, I do have a little bit of not receiving enough video. I just had to look. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble. I got to restart my computer. I need to clean some stuff out. And actually, what I need is a new processor, but we'll get into that someday. This headline, though, caught my eye, and it's one of those headlines that will absolutely make some heads explode. And I have to do this. A BLM leader, Mark Fisher, endorses Trump, saying the Democratic Party is not for us. Now, when it says BLM leader, I think it's a Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, like not like the entire the house buyers, the real estate investor BLM. Black Lives Matter Rhode Island leader Mark Fisher said Tuesday on Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends that he was endorsing former President Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential race. Co-host Lawrence Jones asked, "This is my favorite story of the day because it identifies what I have seen in the barbershop. All the brothers, for some reason right now, are turning tides right now. I just wonder what is the big reason." Well, because Biden's dope. Fisher said, "I think personally it's the Okay, wait. It's just how much of this interview they got here? Let's see how.
Now to this.
3 minutes.
The co-founder of Black Lives Matter.
Well, let's watch it.
Rhode
Let's
Island
watch it.
is
We'll comment on
former
this.
President Trump and calling out the Democrats for what he calls years of racist policies. Watch.
You know,
okay,
we've been used and abused for so long. That party, they don't value our vote. Their policies are basically racist policies. And I believe it's a racist party. Donald Trump he's the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to give it to you straight. Trump has done more for the black community than any president I can think of in my lifetime.
Wow.
And he's not alone.
Now, Mark must be young. Okay. But I'm not disparaging what Trump did. He did things he said he would do, the prison reform, different things. And he had a plan. He had a plan. What was that called? The Platinum Plan for Black America or African American, whatever. So he actually had a plan, and Joe Biden certainly didn't. Remember when who was it? It was Ice Cube. Ice Cube just wanted to sit down and talk to Biden like he did with Trump, and Biden's like, all you got to do is vote for me. If you don't vote for me, if you vote for the other guy, you ain't black. Ice Cube's like, yeah, but what about some stuff for black people? Which I don't think it's the job of the president to do stuff for black people. But Donald Trump was doing it as opposed to Joe Biden. So anyway, and he also added a lot of people are misinformed. They don't understand because they don't educate themselves on Donald Trump as a person and his history. But if they do that, it's going to take educating leaders to get the word out there. I think it will happen on its own. It will be organic because personally I love the man. How could you as like a real man, how could you not relate to someone like that? So that's again, it's good. Just reading the headline of that on Breitbart, because Breitbart makes their heads explode anyway, is going to cause more heads to explode. Also in Breitbart is this article: exclusive poll, voters' top 3 descriptions of Joe Biden. I said the snarky, by the way. Top 3 descriptions. Oh, you're on Rumble too. I see what happened. So Rumble's not buffering. If YouTube's buffering, Rumble's not buffering. So it has to be. It's a YouTube problem. Voters' top 3 descriptions of Joe Biden: old, weak, and tired. The top descriptions of the president, Joe Biden, will likely registered by likely registered voters. This is likely registered. Wait. By likely registered voters, depicted the 81-year-old as low energy, according to a Senate Opportunity Fund poll exclusively obtained by incontinent was not on the list. Well, here's the deal. I got an idea. Okay, hang on. Just for y'all, I'm gonna throw a question in there, and I don't want to do a poll because I want to see the answers. All right, here's the question. Let's see. Name top descriptions of the president. God, I can't even spell president. There we go. Top descriptions of the president, and you trying to limit it down to 1 to 2 words per description, unless you just can't do it. So there you go. There's the Q&A. Top descriptions of President Biden. But back to this article. The top 3 descriptions of President Joe Biden by likely registered voter depicted the 81-year-old as low energy, according to the Senate Opportunity Fund, blah, blah, blah. The negative descriptions provide further evidence that Biden's feeble persona will give former President Donald Trump a strong line of attack heading into the 2024 election. Out of 10 options, so were given options, they didn't get to write their own in, voters chose negative words to describe Biden. So these are the words that they gave you an option to use. See, I told you I'm gonna fall asleep today. I'm telling you. Okay. Old, weak, and tired were the top 3. Strong was number 4. Oh, I'm not so sure. Strong, dull, number 5. Tough, number 6. Crazy, number 10. Energetic, number 8. Vibrant, 7. Young was 1. One person actually voted for it. Now this poll, there's not many people answering this poll. That's all the answers. But or is that? Oh, those are percentages. Percentages. I can't believe that. No, that can't be percentages. Is it? Oh, I guess I get to choose 3, and then the percentage. Okay, but so no, tough is one of the ones. Now again, in this poll, they gave them choices to check off. Okay, so tough was one of them. Those are the choices they gave, and that's the order they came in the percentage of people who chose those choices, which I'm surprised anyone chose young, even a single person, but somebody clicked off young. Now, confirming previous polling, the Tuesday survey found the top 3 issues among voters were inflation, jobs in the economy, and immigration. Hello, Special Korean Acid and Lord Stanhope. So, yeah, the top three issues: inflation, jobs, economy, and immigration, which are not good. Which are not good for Joe Biden. I'll just tell you. The poll sampled 800 likely voters from November 21st to 23rd with a 3.5% margin of error. The Senate Opportunity Fund is a conservative research nonprofit that conducts national and state level polling. Now, the Democratic Party is reportedly trying to reconcile that Biden, who turned 81 last Monday, is the leading Democrat candidate for the 2024 presidential election. And then they got some quotes from Politico and the Washington Post. But anyway, I'm not surprised. Now, let's see. I didn't even have that on the screen. I can't believe it. I'm so tired. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. All right. Anyone answer this question yet? What are some of the words? Oh, AD, of course. Let's see. Some of the descriptions that you've given: incompetent, incontinent, and incoherent. Yes, there you go. That is perfect. And I don't know if we need to read anymore. Oh, you wrote it twice: incompetent, incontinent, and incoherent. What was I doing again? Okay, good. Hello, Cleveland. Okay, what? You know the thing?
You know the thing.
And thank you, Tyre Alexander. Uncle Bad Touch. Well, we had a guy named Uncle Bad Touch here for a while. And Dusty Old Fart and Zelensky's bitch. Damn, Jimmy Hotep. Thank you for dropping that one over on Rumble. I'm looking over Rumble too. Yeah, but Uncle Bad Touch. Yeah, we knew who that was. He pretended like he was, somebody else, but we know that was really Joe Biden. And then true international depression. Okay, so those are the words that described Joe Biden. Okay, we're going to end the Q&A. Thank you for all your contributions. You are great gentlemen and scholars. All right, let's move on in PJ Media. What was this one? Oh, this one's surprising me a little bit. This writer in PJ Media thinks Donald Trump should drop out of the race. This is fascinating, saying that Trump's legacy is at stake. He said, I voted for Donald Trump twice. I published several op-ed pieces defending him and his policies. I spoke in support of Trump on podcasts and before live audience. I do not regret those decisions, and I remain convinced that, given the alternatives, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, supporting Trump in 2016 and 2020 was the right choice. I also think that Trump accomplished a remarkable number of good things for America. He placed 3 outstanding justices on the Supreme Court. He slashed taxes and canceled thousands of government-imposed regulations. And those 2 actions spurred vigorous economic growth while bringing inflation down to just over 2% per year. He reduced the flow of illegal immigrants from 297,000, basically 298,000 to 143,000 per year. By way of comparison, under Biden, the numbers are 2.7 million. Or is no, not 2.6. Yeah, 2.76 million for 2022 and 3.2 million so far in 2023. So that's crazy. It's 10 almost. Well, it's over 10 times what it was during Trump. Trump built over 200 miles of effective border walls that would have built many more if miles of construction had not been blocked repeatedly by liberal judges and by a Democratic Congress that refused to appropriate money for the wall. Okay, he's going through all the accomplishments, and then he's basically a list that's pretty good here. But then he says, Speaking as a professor who has taught theology and ethics for 46 years, I can say that all of these actions seem to me to be consistent with the Judeo-Christian worldview as found in the Bible on a whole. And as an evangelical Christian, I appreciate that Trump welcomed several evangelicals into cabinet posts and other positions of high influence in his administration. Biden has none in his cabinet, as far as we know. But President Biden has steadily rolled back many of these achievements. Okay, he's going through why Trump is good and Biden sucks, but then he says, here's the meat of this. Why Trump should drop out now. So let's see if there's any logic to this. I'm completely and utterly confused right now. Now, granted, it could have to do with the indictments and shit. Why then should Trump drop out of the current presidential race? Because he is a weaker candidate than in 2016. In fact, Republican pollster Frank Luntz recently called Trump the weakest Republican candidate for the general election. Well, while Trump remains popular among conservative Republicans and thus he could win the GOP nomination, his support among independent voters is abysmal, and independents will decide the general election. The latest Gallup poll showed a remarkable decline in party loyalty for both parties. 28% of Americans now consider themselves Republicans, 24% now consider themselves Democrats, and a whopping 46% say they are independents. A candidate will have to win a majority of the independents in order to win election, and that's where Trump comes up short. Well, that's not has he been looking at the recent polls? Now, and again, I don't know that I don't have faith in polls that But right now, there's not a lot of support for what he's saying here, other than he doesn't do it as well among independents. I don't know. And that he's saying that's where Trump will come up short. A New York Times Siena College poll of over 3,600 registered voters in 6 battleground states in October 2023 found that 57% of respondents had an unfavorable view of President Biden, a highly unpopular president. 41% were favorable, but 56%, almost identical number, have an unfavorable view of Trump. 42 were favorable, so he's by 1 point on both more popular than Biden. But 56% is almost an identical number, had an unfavorable view of Trump. Okay, wait, I just said that. Voters don't like either of these candidates, and among voters who are undecided and persuadable, only 20% think it would be good for the country. Oh my gosh, if Trump became president again. And 54% believe that Trump has committed serious federal crimes. That's the one that I'm concerned about. How many people actually believe that these crimes are not just get Trump out of the paint kind of crimes and just complete bullshit and think that he actually committed crimes. Especially, the way that Letitia James is trying that court in public and every day out there. How many people pay attention to her talking about Trump every day? The January 6th one, while I think there's strong arguments against that one, that he did not incite the riot, whatever. And they're doing everything they can to, turn some of these other witnesses by trying to basically bankrupt them in federal court, and they're just taking plea deals. But I don't know how many people actually believe that this is not just a political witch hunt, and especially among independents. It's hard to say. Anyway, he continues to say, among voters who are undecided and persuadable, only 20% think it would be good for the country if Trump became president again, and 54% believe that he's committed serious federal crimes. If those numbers are anywhere near the actual situation, it will be impossible for Trump to win a general election, except maybe against Biden. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Let's see. So, if those numbers were near the actual situation, it would be impossible for Trump to win the general election. Therefore, if Trump collects a majority of delegates in the early Republican primaries and thereby secures the GOP nomination, Republicans would be facing a huge risk that Democrats will find some way to dump Biden and quickly select a fresh, younger candidate like California Governor Gavin Newsom and win the general election in a landslide. Now, that may be what happens. Because remember, I don't believe that Joe Biden's going to be around come general election time, and maybe that's it. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
Jimmy Dots Hope Tap first sponsor of the day, and you are the new Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Dropping a small bullet tip jar says, sounds like an establishment hack to me over the last election has pulling in independents work. F to the no. We need to add new voters. Means telling people harmed by government, we see you and let's fix it. So we need to reach those that choose not to vote. Here, let me give you another bell just for that. I agree. And it does sound a little bit establishment hackneyed. So then he goes through 7 negative factors that diminish Trump's support. Oh my gosh, is he really writing this much? So anyway, it'll be interesting to see if Biden actually makes it through to the general election. That's the one where I say We'll see. Let's wait and see, because I predicted from the beginning that he wouldn't. All right, moving on. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is mad about how things are not going well in his city, and he believes that he has found the answer as to why things are so bad in Chi-Town, Chicago, and it's because well, this should be obvious, okay? This should be obvious. Hello, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. This should be obvious that, of course, the reason Chicago is in such bad shape is because of all the right-wing extremists. Oh, Democratic Mayor Brandon Johnson blamed right-wing extremism for some of the ills facing his crime-ridden city. He issued a statement about the far right during a press conference on Tuesday. What we've seen is a very raggedy form of right-wing extremism. The mayor said everyone knows that the right-wing extremism in this country has targeted. Oh, I see what you're saying. What the hell? Has targeted democratically run cities, and quite frankly, they have been quite intentional about going after democratically run cities that are led by people of color. That doesn't mean that they did anything to make your town a shithole. Chicago has been part of the Democratic machine since 1938. There isn't a Republican in sight in Chicago, and they haven't done anything to your city. And are you saying that Lori, what's-her-face, Lightfoot, or Gordon Lightfoot, that thing, the Beetlejuice, are you saying that she was far right? Holy shit. The mayor even said that such right-wing extremists aim to create a division and chaos because that is what that particular political party is all about. Well, there's none of them in Chicago. If the worst thing they can do is talk bad about you from Portland, or not Portland, they're not there either, from like Dallas or somewhere in Enid, Oklahoma or something, because they're not in your town. He said it's the same party that wouldn't accept that President Obama was actually an American. It's the same Republican right-wing extremism that stormed the Capitol. It's the same right-wing extremism that refuses to accept the results of the Civil War. What? What the actual F are you talking about? Refuse to accept the results of the Civil War? Are you... what? Those were Democrats, dumbass! It's raggedy, it's disrespectful, it's mean-spirited. You mean it's disrespectful and notice that your town is crap? That you have problems and that you're not fixing? Here he is.
Well, there has to be better coordination. What we've seen is a very raggedy form instituted by right-wing extremism.
Where?
Everyone knows that right-wing extremism in this country.
But no, we're talking about Chicago, sir. We're talking about Chicago. Where are the raggedy right-wing extremists in Chicago that have any effect on your policy, your execution, your management of your city, the police force? They have nothing to do with your town. All they're doing, they're looking at you from afar, talking about how terrible it is there. Oh my God, this is crazy.
In cities, and quite frankly, they've been very intentional about going after democratically ran cities that are led by people of color.
On the internet? That's the only place they're anywhere near Chicago.
And their whole motivation is to create disruption and chaos, because that's what that particular party has been about. Right? This is the same political party that did not want to accept that President Obama was actually an American. It's the same Republican right-wing extremism that stormed the Capitol. It's the same
doing what in Chicago? How many of them have come to Chicago? and caused any problems in your city, sir. You're inept. Your whole city government is inept. And
of the Civil War. It's raggedy. It's disrespectful. It's mean-spirited. It's an unclean spirit, quite frankly. And so I got you. I just want to make sure that people understand what we're facing. That's why it's so important that the faith community is leaning in this moment.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Right-wing extremists are not only the scapegoats employed during the mayor's press conference. According to the Daily Mail, Johnson also blamed his predecessor, Democrat Mayor Lori Lightfoot, claiming that he inherited her mess. Well, that's true. It's a mess that's been it's a mess that's been Chicago for years, regardless if it was Lori Lightfoot or Rahm Emanuel or Brandon Johnson. And he says the real disconnect is that you have an unclean spirit that has captured the right-wing extreme. What the hell? No. The right-wings have nothing to do with what's going on in your city, sir. You're just reading, you're reading people giving you shit over the internet. That's the only thing that I can think of. Oh, boy. That's nuts. Daily Caller. What's this one again? Oh, yeah, there's more on the poor blackface kid, and but they didn't put a picture of him in here. They put a picture of this fine individual right here, and wow, man, I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time staying awake. Okay, but anyway, this is the story. This is the Kansas City Chief thing. I am falling asleep. Okay. I'm going to skip that. They failed to destroy football itself, so now liberals want to destroy you, the fan, going after the kid in the Deadspin article. So, whatever. Sorry about that. All right, moving on. Daily Caller also. Now, in the National Archives have identified key documents related to Joe Biden's apparent email aliases. The National Archives and Records Administration, NAR, has identified a set of key documents related to the email pseudonyms President Joe Biden appeared to use during his vice presidency. Now, I thought that you couldn't, there's something in like laws or something that, people in the government have to use government email and whatnot. Hello, Selected Boy. I just saw you here.
Yeah, boy.
And Episcopos and GDSOB. Nice to see you here. So, NAR possesses 731 electronic files of potentially responsive records related to the creation of Joe Biden's apparent email aliases, the agency told the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project in a November 8th letter. The correspondence was first reported Tuesday by the Daily Signal, the Heritage Foundation's media outlet. And the letter's in response to your Freedom of Information request dated October 19, 2023, for access to Biden vice presidential records pertaining to the creation of Vice President Biden's alias, pseudonym, email accounts, and related to policy documents covering non-standard accounts in the executive office of the president. The letter begins, we have performed a search of our collection for vice presidential records related to your request and have identified approximately 731 electronic files of potentially responsive records that must be processed in order to respond to your request. Please keep in mind that these totals are an estimate and that all materials processed may not be applicable to your specific topic. The letter continues. So they found, at least they're saying they have some. Interesting. NAR also discovered 82,000 pages of potential records related to Joe Biden's suspected email accounts, according to the status report NAR filed in October, alongside the Southeastern Legal Foundation for an unrelated FOIA lawsuit. As part of the SFLF lawsuit, NAR previously disclosed its possession of up to 5,400 potential email records tied to Joe Biden's apparent aliases. Now remember, Joe Biden was using some aliases. This reported, I don't know, it was a couple months ago maybe, or a month ago, where he was using aliases to communicate with his sons his son, and some of the business people like using aliases so they couldn't say it was Joe Biden doing this. I can't confirm that, but that's kind of what was going on. And so anyway, the House Oversight Committee wrote a letter in August to NAR demanding access to its records containing the pseudonyms Joe Biden appeared to use, such as Robert L. Peters, Robin Ware, and J.R.B. Ware. The email accounts were first reported by the New York Post based on Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop archive. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting, too. All right, let's move on. I'm going to try to get through all these now. Republicans demand White House withdraw nomination of Hunter Biden crony. Apparently, he's being nominated for something. I'll keep getting out of the screen there. Senate Republicans this week called on the White House to withdraw its nomination of Hunter Biden's former law associate to serve as the head of the office that handles federal whistleblower complaints. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Let's have one of Hunter Biden's associates do that. That sounds perfect. But Joe Biden never talked business with any of Hunter Biden's associates. He didn't know any of Hunter Biden's associates. He didn't think about any of the Hunter Biden associates, but now he's being nominated to oversee whistleblower files, I guess. Let's see. Last month, Joe Biden nominated Hampton Dellinger to lead the Office of Special Counsel. Dellinger worked until 2020 at Boyce Schiller Flexner, a top Democratic law firm. His stint there overlapped with Hunter Biden's position as counsel to the firm, where the younger Biden worked on behalf of Ukraine energy firm Burisma Holdings. There you go. So, and then emails from the abandoned laptop show that the first son worked closely with Boyce Schiller's crisis management team, of which Dellinger was a member, to craft a public relations and lobbying strategy for Burisma as the Ukrainian firm faced several bribery investigations. Biden and Dellinger exchanged emails and attended private dinner for the law firm's crisis management team in 2014, the Free Beacon reported. So, yeah, they're asking this guy to withdraw because he's Hunter Biden associate, and they need that to be gone. All right. Before I move on, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. It says, I would like to add to the Joe Biden description, creepy pedo. That's right.
That's right.
Chicago deserves what they voted for. Just build a wall around it and nuke it from orbit. Oh no.
That's right.
FTG, the Daily Wire, but I plan to bootleg their newest flick, Lady Ballers. Yeah,
that's right.
I used to be a member of the Daily Wire, but I let it go away. The only reason I had it is because I wanted to watch the two movies that were out at the time, which was What Is a Woman and the one about where they're on the Terror on the Prairie. And I thought Terror on the Prairie was a pretty good movie, but I let it lapse because I didn't want to spend money on Daily Wire anymore. Oversight Chairman, okay, we already talked about this. Oversight Chairman Comer shoots down Hunter Biden's offer to publicly testify. Thank you again, Black Hebrew Israelite. By the way. Let's see. Hunter Biden told Oversight Committee James Comer he would testify before the entire Oversight Committee instead of a closed-door deposition. Again, they're asking for a deposition, not testimony. This is not the grandstanding public spectacle that they were asking for. They want a deposition because they're trying to go deep into the problem here, which was a bad choice of wording. So anyway, committee served Hunter Biden with a subpoena to appear at the deposition on December 13th. Whatever. And they're calling it a fishing expedition. So, as you well know, it's probably what in a way it is. But they also seem to have some evidence of wrongdoing by the first family, so to speak. In the Daily Wire, court says media outlets defame conservative economist, orders them to pay a massive settlement. Now this is huge. An Australian judge is ordering two media outlets to pay American economist Peter Schiff more than $500,000 for defaming him. It's the latest fallout in the bizarre scandal in which the IRS and the governments of 5 other countries joined together to target Schiff as a frequent guest on conservative media with the biggest tax evasion investigation in the world. Despite poring over every detail of a bank he ran in Puerto Rico, authorities failed to come up with a single charge, but government agents apparently leaked the existence of the investigation to the New York Times and Australian media outlets. The Age and 60 Minutes, both of which are owned by Australian media giant Nine. The journalist took Schiff's advocacy for low tax policies as evidence that he would break existing law. The media reporting on the unfounded investigation led to a series of calamities for the bank, culminating in it being shuttered by a Puerto Rican regulator, with the IRS falsely taking credit for the closure and suggesting it was because of money laundering and tax evasion, even though its investigation substantiated neither of the charges. Tax agents appeared to work closely with the media on that infamous press conference. The New York Times learned that the bank was being shuttered purportedly because of a criminal probe dubbed Operation Atlantis before Schiff did. Officials may have violated the law by disclosing the existence of a grand jury to reporters, but with little recourse against the U.S. government. Schiff sued the journalists who seemed to be in cahoots with the agents in the Australian court. The Age, 60 Minutes. This is the Australian version of 60 Minutes, by the way. Good morning, Patio Furniture. The Age, 60 Minutes, as well as 2 reporters, Charlotte Grieve and Nick McKinsey, who worked on over the top video segment, as well as an article. An Australian judge ruled that the television segment was defamatory, but the articles were not. So he's getting good, and not like he needs the money, but I guess libel laws are a little bit different in Australia. I don't know if he could do that here, but good for Peter Schiff winning on that. All right, I got time for these. Let's go. Let's do it. Daily Wire. Let's see. Oh, we already talked about this. This is one of the reasons I often pull up articles of things that I talked about the day before is just to remind you that when you watch this show, sometimes you're going to get things before everybody else. I'm just saying, I do breaking news every day if I could. But the United Nations wants Americans to reduce meat consumption in the name of climate change. That's gonna go down just perfectly. I guarantee it. Of course, maybe if Bill Gates closes all his farmland off to livestock and just leaves it bare, maybe that'll help climate change. I don't know. That sentence didn't even make sense. My brain is not working. Let's see, what else I got here? Let's keep going. Legal insurrection. This is about the Border Patrol one. Gosh, my computer's going slow. Yeah, come here. Come on, work. Oh gosh, it's not working. I'm sorry. I meant for it to work. Let's see if this will work. Is this just my computer? No. Anyway, so the article in this one was Border Patrol asking for agents across the country to help virtually process migrants at the southern border. They are, I'm sorry. They need more people. Let's just say they need more people down there. All right, let's move to this one. John Kennedy visibly taken aback after witnesses rapists shouldn't be judged for the rest of their life. Okay, I'm just going to, this is, how long is this? This can't be very long. Here it is. This is the
Bruin decision. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well,
thank you, Senator Hirono. Senator Kennedy.
Okay, it's the whole thing. Here's what I thought it was just a short part of the clip. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana was apparently gobsmacked at the comment a witness made during a Tuesday hearing. The Senate Judiciary Committee held a hearing on the gun violence epidemic. A public crisis was the name of the hearing, and during which Kennedy pressed Dr. Franklin and Cozy Gay, that's the name, not status, and other witnesses who called for more gun control legislation. The Biden administration created a White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention in September, as it is called, for renewing a ban on certain semi-automatic firearms in the wake of mass shootings in Nashville, a bank in Louisiana, and an outlet mall in Allen, Texas, and a bowling alley in Lewiston, Maine earlier this year. So they drug them all out. You know, it's funny. If there are, they always want to go for the AR-15s, right? And they say there's 397 whatever mass shootings this year, but they only refer to 4 shootings. Where's all the other ones? I thought that the AR-15 was the number one tool of choice for people who are going to do mass shooting. Then they have 4 incidents? I'm just sure. Anyway, so he said, here's the exchange. Kennedy said, "You said no one should be judged by the worst thing they have done in their lives," Kennedy said to Cozy Gay. "If one of these young doctors sitting behind you, God forbid, walks out into the streets of Washington, D.C. and is raped or sodomized, you don't think the rapist should be judged?" Answer: I don't think it should be terminal. I think it shouldn't be for the rest of their lives. Cozy Gay responded. Kennedy previously pressed another witness, Dr. Rainey, Dean of Yale School of Public Health, over the failures to enforce laws currently on the books, pointing to Philadelphia District Attorney Len Krasner's refusal to prosecute 47 of the illegal gun possession cases. "You think we should forgive them and not give them any punishment?" Kennedy asked. "You think nobody's responsible for their actions?" And she said, "I believe in responsibility, but I believe in forgiveness." So what? Kennedy started to thank Democratic Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, before he reacted to Cozy Gay's response. Wow. Is that maybe it's at the end here. Let's see let's watch the end.
1,000? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gun deaths about 50,000.
Correct.
Do you support outlawing fried foods?
I'm sorry. How does that relate to?
Because fried foods contribute to heart disease, don't they?
Again, I have not written or said that I support outlawing.
You're a physician, right?
I am. Have I said that I support outlawing anything in my testimony today?
Okay. Let me ask one more question. I'm sorry, I cannot see that far, Doctor, on the very end.
Cozy Gay, thank you.
Yes, sir. You said, I wrote it down, you said that no one should be judged by the worst thing they have done in their lives.
Correct.
If one of these young doctors sitting behind you, God forbid, walks out on the streets of Washington, D.C. and is raped or sodomized, you don't think the rapist should be judged?
I don't think it should be terminal. It shouldn't be for the rest of their lives.
You think we should forgive them and not give them any punishment?
I believe in forgiveness.
You think nobody's responsible for their actions?
I believe in responsibility. I believe in forgiveness.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Wow.
That's what he said.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, that's quite an answer. Anyway, the other couple articles I have here in the American Thinker. Oh, that's bad. I've got to move that over. There, let's fix that. In the American Thinker, there's an article about the new information we've been getting about January 6th. And this one's interesting. With more information about January 6th, why it happened is now maybe a little more obvious. You think? House Speaker Mike Johnson's release of more video and cell phone tapes from January 6th shows further evidence that what's that cord? How'd that cord get in my way there? The insurrection on that day was a federal setup. Now, we don't have, let's just say I'm going to read this with a grain of salt in my cheek and cheek and gum, kind of like a little bit of skull, brother. But, I've always thought that from the beginning. We said, in fact, when we knew this rally was going to happen, a lot of us in the commentary sphere of the right sort of pseudo-right or whatever peoples who do this thing that I'm doing today, a lot of us said, don't do it. they're going to find a way to get you in trouble. And boy, oh boy, it sure happened. But anyway, it's more evidence to add to the known fact that the lead up to January 6th, then Speaker Nancy Pelosi refused to have extra security. This knowledge leads to a bigger question that no one, left, right, or center, seems to have been asking. Why? There were plenty of people asking. Why wouldn't Pelosi want to be sure that democracy was secure so that Vice President Mike Pence could certify the Electoral College vote? Ensuring that the Capitol was safe and sound would mean that Joe Biden's presidency would be assured. After all, the election of 2020 was the most secure in American history. So why wouldn't you want that obvious fact certified and rubber stamped by Congress? The only obvious answer to why Pelosi wanted to guarantee a riotous breach of the Capitol was that she knew, this is terribly written, she knew would be the actual result. She knew would be the actual results of the Electoral College vote if the process were allowed to follow its course. Senators Ted Cruz and John Hawley, among others, had previously made noise about challenging the election results in several swing states, and despite what many have debated, there was a tangible potential for Pence to delay certification for a couple weeks to look into the evidence of significant vote tampering and fraud. So how do we know that the vice president had the authority to stop the certification? Well, because the ability for the position of vice president to do just that was changed by a vote of Congress relatively recently after the events of January. Yeah, they changed. He couldn't do it. Well, we're going to change the law so he can't do it. Wait a minute. I thought he couldn't do it anyway. No, we're going to change the law so we make sure he can't do it. Why would you change something that did not need to be changed? So at the time, Pelosi knew that halting proceedings would lead to an investigation, and an investigation would lead to the entire mainstream media being forced to address, albeit reluctantly, to those questions. What actually transpired over the 3 additional days of counting in the 2020 election would be exposed, and the narrative of the most secure election in American history would crumble in front of the eyes of everybody in this country. And and across the globe. My God, this is not working. Okay, you get the point. I'm going to leave the article up. I'm going to drop out of this. Here's the other articles. There's a couple. Terrorists violate temporary ceasefire in Gaza. Israeli forces come under an attack. According to the IDF, they said Tuesday that terrorists have violated a temporary ceasefire in Gaza after its forces came under attack in multiple locations. Over the last hour, 3 explosive devices were detonated adjacent to IDF troops in 2 different locations in northern Gaza, violating the framework of the operational pause. So I don't know. We're going to see if they. It'll be interesting to see if they ramp their operations back up since there's been a break in the ceasefire or not. We'll see. Biden pressure on Israel tactics will leave Hamas intact and empowered. That's the other part. Biden pressuring Israel and then in the ceasefire. Doesn't that just help Hamas? Anyway, I'm not going to get into this one either. And the father of Emily Hand, 9, says she can't stop whispering or crying. She didn't want any comfort. She went under the covers of the bed, the quilt, covered herself and quietly cried. That's the little girl who wasn't the Prime Minister of Ireland said, "Oh, she's been found. She was lost, but she's been found." Yeah, the terrorists took her. Anyway, so that's it for the articles today, guys. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to leave my aggregator Ace here, who has a lot of Israel news in the aggregator today. I'll leave that one open, and I encourage you to just check that blog out every once in a while. That's where we got Brandon Johnson from. We got several of these articles from here. It's great. It's a great blog that every morning he has tons of articles that you can look through if you want to get caught up on a bunch of stuff. But on that note, I gotta go. So thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Monday through Friday, you know the deal. Around 10 o'clock, usually a little later, depending on what time I get home. I am going to do everything I can to get a good night's sleep tonight so that I'm not falling asleep while I'm talking. And we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to our sponsors today. Black Hebrew Israelite, Jimmy Das Hotep. Greatly appreciated. and all who sponsor the show during the weeks, and everyone who participates in the chat and comes every day. And it's fun to see you all, and thank you for participating. So I got to go. Thank you. My name is Pete Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Let's see if the outro works today. Look at that. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.